are right up there. And these are our authors for the day. So let's give them a round of applause.
Hi guys, thanks for coming out to Westland Library. This mic is just for him up there, so you're not going to hear it projecting. So if you're wondering why I'm holding the mic and it's not projecting. Anyway, we wrote Pete the Popcorn, and we're reading here in Westland. Westland is my hometown, so we wanted to come back and read to you guys. Do you guys know something special that's going on in Michigan schools in March? Does anyone know?
Reading month?
March is Reading Month. Excellent. Think you get a prize already. There you go. So again, March is Reading Month, and I'll have Nick talk.
So yeah, it's great to be here. We're going to read you Pete the Popcorn. It just came out on Leap Day, and on Leap Day it hit 3 number ones on Amazon. It was number 1 in children's literature, number 1 hot new releases, and number 1 on movers and shakers. So we were very happy, and thank you to everyone that bought books on Leap Day.
Yes, thank you very much.
And we have books available for purchase after the presentation. And 10% of the sales do go back to the Westland Library today, too, for anything purchased here. So after we read the story, we're going to have a special video from our illustrator. Does anyone know what an illustrator is?
Me!
Do you know what an illustrator is?
The person who draws the picture.
Excellent.
Very good. There's a prize for you.
And the popcorn that we're handing out right now are the anti-bullying colors of Pete, which is orange, red, and blue. So they got some anti-bullying colors. We want to teach kids that they should encourage one another and not to bully. So we're going to go ahead and start the story.
Okay, I'm going to read it, kids, and Joe's going to have some fun stuff that he's going to interject in the reading. Yeah. So, okay.
Excuse me. Sorry, gang. Sorry.
All right. So there's Pete. Does anyone notice anything different about Pete? He's not popped up yet, is he? He's still a popcorn. He's a kernel. Very good, very good. So Pete was a popcorn kernel. I know it sounds silly, but popcorns have playful lives too. It was early October, and Pete had been punching in at Popcorn Prep for a whole month. So there's Pete. He's walking into his school. He goes to Popcorn Prep. Where do you go to school?
I go to school at sometimes
Farmington Hills. Very good. And you get a prize. Every day was filled with popcorn math, popcorn spelling, and Pete's least favorite subject, popcorn prehistory, with Miss Priscilla Popcorn with her funny glasses. Kids, what's Pete doing in class right now? What's he doing? He's sleeping. Are you supposed to sleep in class?
No.
I hope Pete doesn't get in trouble. On this day, Pete the Popcorn just didn't feel like getting out of his pod. Something was on his mind, and he just didn't feel too peppy, like popcorns normally should. Pete's neighbor, Patty, the pale popcorn, knocked on the door to Pete's pad. Come on, Pete. It's a perfect day. Today we're going to learn the secrets to performing the perfect pop, Patty said. And I just don't feel too perky today, Patty. You go on without me, replied Pete. Patty didn't like the pitch in Pete's voice. What's the problem, Pete? Asked Patty as she pushed open the door. Don't be a punk. We have to persist in our positive point of view.
Hey, we need a volunteer real quick. In the red, go up front. Is Pete on a school bus?
No.
What is he on?
A bike.
Motorcycle? What kind of hairdo does he have?
Green.
Green mohawk, huh? Nick, can you give him a prize real quick? And notice his license plate says, Great to Pop.
So Pete says, it's just that all of us popcorns are the same. We're all the same size, shape, and color. We all want to be popped and eaten someday. So how do we stand out enough to be chosen? What's going to make me different enough to be popped and turned into something really delicious? Well, Pete, we may all seem the same physically, but it's our attitude and sense of purpose that make us really special. We'll all get eaten, Pete, because that's what popcorns are here for, Patty went on. Sure, everybody in our class grew up on the same ear, but you're a special little kernel because I think you're the smartest one around. You do? You promise? Pete's little heart pitter-pattered, and the next thing he knew, he was perched in class at popcorn prep with Patty by his side.
Okay, I need another volunteer. Right here in the stripes. Go up front.
Okay, so let's look at the picture. The words say, Pete's little heart pitter-pattered, and the next thing he knew, he was perched in class. So which one of these little kernels is Pete? Very good. Which one do you think Patty might be, his friend Patty? Very good. And which one's Ralph? I'm teasing. We didn't talk about Ralph. There you go. Thank you. In the story, Professor Popcorn was presenting photos of different and scrumptious-looking popped popcorn. You could pop up to be a caramel corn, or you might pop up to be a pecan praline popcorn. Some little kernels even pop up and become popcorn that are presented with little pieces of bacon, said Professor Popcorn. Pete's eyes grew wide as the pictures passed by. He turned to Patty and proclaimed, "You're right. We might all be the same now, but we can pop up into anything we want to be. I want to pop up and be a chocolate-covered popcorn, or a particular popcorn with only Pacific sea salts, or a popcorn packaged with peanuts or pretzels, or Pete continued to name all of the possibilities for his popped future, and Patty looked pleased. And this is the plain and simple plan that prepared Pete for a most paramount lesson of growing up. We all pop into a perfect future for our personality. That's the end. Thank you. So kids, in the story, we want you to remember and know that Pete's friend Patty, she noticed that he wasn't having such a great day. And she said, "Hey Pete, what's up buddy, what's wrong?" And she talked to him and she said some nice things about him and she complimented him and said, "You're the smartest little kernel around." And she made Pete feel better that day. So every day when you go to school, it's really important to stand up and encourage other people and help your classmates out. And if you see somebody getting bullied in the hallway or somebody's being mean to that person, you stand up and you say something nice about that person.
Okay, so we need a volunteer, someone that knows another person in this room. Who here has another friend in this room? I need a volunteer with the glasses. Come on up front. Okay, who here in this room do you know? Pick them out. Do you know anyone in this room? Okay. Come on up. Okay, what's your name? What's your name?
Mackenzie.
What's your name?
Christina.
Christina, what do you like about Mackenzie? Something about her personality.
Her hair looks nice.
Her hair looks nice. That's very good. Is she funny? Do you think you're funny? Who here likes funny people? What do you like about your friend? Something about her personality. What do you like?
She's pretty.
She's pretty. That's a very nice compliment. Okay, give them all a round of applause. You guys can come get a popcorn. There you go. There you go. Okay, another volunteer. One in the blue. Come on up front. I always pick people that don't raise their hand. Come on up. Okay, just pick someone in this room that you know and tell them a nice compliment about them. Who do you want to pick? Do you know anyone in here? How about your kids? Let's pick them.
Sure.
You want to prize, London? Okay. Let the kids know what you like about each other. Okay, what do you like about Skylar right here?
Me?
Yes.
He's smart.
Smart. Everyone here likes smart people, right? Yeah. Okay, what do you like about this little one, London?
He's funny.
Funny. Okay, very good. Give him a round of applause. There you guys go. There you go, London. So anyway, when we do this in schools, they're all with fellow classmates and whatnot, so it's kind of hard when someone doesn't know each other. But we do this for about 15 minutes and teach kids that they should encourage one another and specifically target something they can't change about themselves, like the hair color and stuff like that. You want to talk about if they're funny, if they work well with others, if they're helpful, if they're patient, and things that, you know, are really good for the kids. Did anyone else notice anything about the book with what consonant was repeated throughout the book? What letter was repeated throughout the book? Does anyone know? A P. Excellent. And that is called alliteration. Some of you kids will learn that later on. So now we're going to start the presentation from our illustrator, Kathleen Smith Waters. It's a 2 to 3 minute video. I am going to ask some questions to some kids or an adult, and that's how you're going to win some t-shirts, so pay attention.
We're here at Campbell's Sweet Factory in Cleveland, Ohio. This is our illustrator of Pete the Popcorn, Kathleen Smith Waters. Hello.
Hello.
So, the kids that are at the readings right now, they can't obviously meet you in person. So we wanted to talk a little bit about how you became an illustrator, when you first got Pete the Popcorn, when we first sent you the story via email, how you decided to give Pete personality.
Okay. Well, I first decided to become an illustrator in high school. I was always drawing when I was little, and my parents really encouraged me to draw. So I went to art school and decided I wanted to do children's books. And so when I learned about Pete the Popcorn, I wanted to make him really cute and happy, and you know, the colors are really soft. And so this is the shape he came to in my mind, and so he's really cute and tiny, and you can see his personality.
Tell us a little bit about the process. Now, do you start with like pen and paper, or do you do a lot of it on the computer?
A lot of these started out as sketches, and then I started drawing them on the computer, and then I transferred it to paper, and I did watercolor, and so that's how all of these were colored. Was with watercolor.
Now, like one full picture like this, one 8.5 by 11 full page picture, how long does that take you to do?
I would say anywhere between, from start to finish, 5 to 10 hours.
Tell the kids that are thinking about going into some artistic field when they pop up, give them some tips for their future.
I would say always draw, you know, don't be afraid to think differently, just be positive and don't give up.
So Kathleen, what everybody wants to know, did you eat a lot of popcorn while you were illustrating the book?
Yes, I did.
What's your favorite kind of popcorn?
Well, my favorite kind of popcorn is pickle popcorn.
Dill pickle popcorn.
Yes.
Oh, that sounds good.
It has a lot of bites.
Who here thinks they would like to try that dill pickle popcorn? Okay, in the video, it's kind of hard to hear with the speaker, so I do apologize. Kathleen Smith Waters, when she illustrated Pete the Popcorn, she did it in 3 different steps. Can someone name one of the steps?
Sketching.
Sketching, very good. Come on up. This is my nephew. Of course I had to call on him. Okay, anyone else remember something?
Excuse me, sorry.
Right here in the front. She chose the colors. What did she use? She used something.
Yo!
Can you remember? Do you want to phone a friend? What did? Watercolors. Okay, you guys both get it since you had him help you out. Very good. Okay, and there was a middle step right there in number 9. What else did she use? The computer. Very good. Come get your prize. Now, who remembers how long it took her to do one of the illustrations?
5 to 10 hours.
5 to 10 hours. Who here has done a project 5 to 10 hours? No one? Takes a long time. Okay, I need one other volunteer. We're going to show you one secret in the book really quick. Who can I pick? Right here. Come on up front.
Okay, so when you look at this page of the book, this page right here, I can pull it open here for you too if it's hard to see on the screen. On this page, there's something on there that you normally wouldn't see in a classroom. So you'd normally see like a teacher, you'd normally see students, pens and papers. What on this page doesn't belong? You see something? That's a little
Grasshopper. Very good.
Very good. So you can see the grasshopper up there. His name is Gilbert the Grasshopper, and he's going to be in one of our future books, Gilbert the Grasshopper. So in Pete the Popcorn, we kept repeating words that started with the letter P. So which letter would we choose for Gilbert the Grasshopper? Right there in the back. Which letter would we use for Gilbert the Grasshopper? Green? Green. Yeah, that's the word. Green. Gilbert is green, right? Which letter would we use? G. G. We would use the letter G for Gilbert the Grasshopper. Does anyone know any good words that start with the letter G? Good. Very good. Another G word. All right. There you go.
Who else knows a good G word? Right here. Good. Very good.
What's another
Who else
one?
knows a G word?
Grass. Very good. You in the back.
Go.
Go. Very good.
Can you hand that back? Hand that back. Pass that back. Very good.
G word. Okay. And what about you? Green. Very good. Very good.
Green.
What?
There you go.
Great. Very good.
You know what? I'm going to give him one since you won one.
All right. So it's really easy to come up with words that start with different letters.
Did you get one?
Does anyone have any questions for us about Pete the Popcorn? Any questions, even from the adults in the room, you can ask? Anything about the writing process? While you're thinking of some questions, there's one other thing that we go over with the kids in the classrooms, and that's proofreading your work. When you start writing second, third grade, start writing stories and stuff like that, it's very important to go back and proofread your work. Even when we got the first proof copy of Pete the Popcorn back in the mail, we noticed some punctuation errors. So it's always a good idea to pass off your work to a friend or your parent and let them look it over as well before you turn it in. Even on this page, Pete is taking a spelling test, and since Pete is still learning, he has misspelled a word. Of course, in popcorn prep, they always learn about stuff to do with popcorn. So he's got in his spelling test here the word butter, and he's attempted to spell microwave, but he has misspelled it macrowave. So hopefully Pete will look over his work before he turns that in.
Okay, do we have any good questions from some adults? Here in the front.
How did you come up with the idea of Pete?
How did we come up with the idea of Pete? A family member was being bullied, and we wanted to target younger kids, starting with pre-K. Doing a lot of research for the book, we realized that kids are getting bullied at a younger and younger age, and it's just crazy surprising. And we wanted it to stop.
And the way to stop bullying, from the research that we've done and the school psychologists that we've talked to, is not to target and talk to the victim or the bully, but to talk to that third party, the child that's just standing there watching. And they have to be taught to stand up and encourage each other and say some encouraging things to somebody that's getting bullied. So hopefully we've got the message across in Pete the Popcorn when Patty is very nice to her friend Pete.
Excellent question. Come on up and get this. And then also Pete stands for something. We specifically chose Pete for a reason. You want to tell him?
Pete does stand for something. If you look at of course we knew his name had to start with the letter P, but Pete stands for pursuing excellence through encouragement. If you come to school every day and encourage each other, you'll all be excellent.
Okay, do we have any other questions from you kiddos? Right here. Why is Pete the Popcorn called Pete? I think we just answered that. I don't know. That's what his mom named him. Did you guys see a picture of his mom in the book? Did you guys notice? There's a family photo. Any other questions? Questions?
Over how long did it take the whole book to make?
Excellent question.
So how long did it take us to make the book? The whole process takes about a year from start to finish with a children's book, of course, depending on the length. In the video from the illustrator, Kathleen Smith Waters, you noticed 5 to 10 hours it takes just to do one page of the book. So the illustration process is really what takes the longest. The writing process, writing the story, didn't take too long at all. The longest part of that was going back, reading the story that we had written, and replacing a lot of the words with words that started with the letter P. But the whole process, start to finish, about a year.
There in the back.
We as a community able to request to bring you into different schools and to different churches. I think this is wonderful, and I would love to bring you into my church. I know that anti-bullying is something that we really need to hear everywhere. So are we able to, how can we request you and
Absolutely. The contact information is at the website, PeteThePopcorn.com, or on Facebook, Facebook.com/PeteThePopcorn. And shoot us an email, contact us, call us. The phone number is on there as well.
We
We're
have
more than
business
happy.
cards if you guys need anything, any teachers or principals or anything that you need. We don't charge anything to come. We just ask that you purchase a copy of the book and donate it to your own organization or your own school's library. Come on up and get your t-shirt.
Any other questions at all? Yeah, do you have a question?
How did you guys come up with the name Pete the Popcorn?
Well, a lot of people wanted to know how we decided to write a story about a popcorn kernel. Has anyone else read any stories about popcorn kernels at all? I don't think. It's a pretty unique story. So that's how we decided to choose a popcorn kernel. And I was looking at a bag of popcorn one day, and there was like 5 or 6 different flavors in the bag, and I thought, well, all these little kernels didn't know that they were going to pop up and all be different than the person or the kernel sitting next to them. So that's how we decided to focus on a popcorn kernel.
Okay, do we have any other questions from adults? We got some adult sizes here.
In the back there.
What is your new book going to be about?
Gilbert the Grasshopper is also going to tie in encouragement. I work for an airline, actually. I work as a flight attendant a couple days a week, and along with one of my friends in the back here, Sharon. So it's going to be about a grasshopper that jumps on an airplane, and he doesn't know what he's getting himself into. And he's going to learn through encouragement from an unaccompanied minor, a little kid that's on the plane traveling across the country to see their parent, how easy it is to fly, and some different things that you can learn on an airplane. So that's what Gilbert the Grasshopper is going to be about. And Sharon's going to be the star of that book too. She's going to be the flight attendant in the illustrations. So
Who here likes cupcakes? Okay, we're also doing another cupcake book. Gilbert the Grasshopper takes about 2 years to illustrate. That's already in the works, and you can let them know about the cupcake story.
Gilbert the Grasshopper is a lot longer story. It's about double the size of Pete the Popcorn, so it's going to take her about 2 years to do the illustrations for Gilbert. In the meantime, we have another illustrator that's working on Casey and Callie Cupcake. And it's 2 chocolate cupcakes that were baked in the cupcake shop, and they are trying to outdo each other, be better than the person next to them, and they keep jumping into different cups of cupcake toppings, and at the end they'll learn a very important lesson about trying to be better than the next person. So.
Okay, question.
I want to know about the bullying system. How we can teach to the pre-K or kindergarten students, because all they understand is like good people and bad people.
Right. It's, going into the schools, the little experiment that we did up here with the kids telling you something nice about each other, the little ones can relate to that very, very easily. And it's been surprising to both of us how well they actually do with that. And the teachers, too, are glad to see other adults come in and just tell them that it's really kind of cool to be nice to each other. And I think that when the kids get older, it's harder and harder to teach them that lesson, that it's really great to be nice to people. And that's what we're really trying to do with the smaller kids, is present it through a funny story about helping each other.
Okay, I have time for one more question way in the back. You that just turned to look for someone else behind you.
How many of you get acquainted that you got together to write this book? Where you can grow up together, friends?
Excellent question. How did we all 3 come together? I met Nick. I do wedding photography, and he does video, and so we met through that way. And actually, we were trying to find an illustrator for Pete the Popcorn for about 8 months. My friend Becky called me and said, "What's wrong? You don't sound like yourself." and I told her that we were doing a kid's book. We didn't let anyone know, and she said, hey, my cousin's an illustrator. She just got done with a children's book. She gave me her phone number. And then how the process works is we submit a scene from the book to illustrators all across the world. Just like for Case and Callie Cupcake, an illustrator in Croatia is actually doing that book. So you submit it to them and they present a scene. Where Pete goes into popcorn prep is actually the first scene that she emailed us, and right then and there we knew that's Pete.
And the collaboration process too with the illustrator is pretty amazing. It's all done obviously via computer now. Every day we'd get new images in the email, and we were able to submit some suggestions to her, and then she would make changes to the pages. And that whole process was very interesting, and also it gives a lesson to the kids too about working as a team and teamwork. So, any other questions at all? Yep, back there. Yeah, sorry.
It sounds like you have 3 titles right now. Is this going to go into a longer series? Children's, with a positive message?
What we're hoping to do is every book that we come out with contain a message of encouragement. I think that that's really the ticket to stopping bullying in the schools. So every book will have a message of encouragement. Eventually, another Pete book we would like to come out with, and go into more in the school. He's going to popcorn prep. And so when we go out and talk to the classrooms, we'd like to eventually have like a 45-minute interactive program for the kids called Popcorn Prep. And they graduate from Popcorn Prep at the end of the 45-minute program. And it'll all be about encouraging each other. So
we expect to see a series.
Hopefully, yes, yep.
You can come on up for your t-shirt really quickly. We have time for one more question, and then we're going to start signing some books. Some of you that have already purchased your book on Leap Day, so we do appreciate that as well.
You didn't get popcorn.
And then
did you get one of these?
We'll be in the back, and we also are selling them as well. $12.99 plus
we'll
tax.
get you one. Okay.
One question right here in the front.
Yeah, is there, since this will go to churches and all over, is there ever going to be any church for the kids?
Is there going to be a church story? I don't know, but that's an excellent idea. So we will definitely talk with one of our illustrators and try to write that. Since we have a few books going on in the works, we don't want to do too many at once. Okay, well, thank you guys for coming out. The library does have some popcorn and juice and cookies that they did provide. So make sure you guys come by and say hi to us in the back. We'll snap some pictures. All you kids in the front that did not get anti-bullying popcorn, come see me really quick and I have some for you.
I came out today because Pete the Popcorn, the book, once I ordered it online and I read it, I was amazed. I was truly amazed by the anti-bullying campaign, and I really wanted my kids to be a part of the reading so they could hear straight from the authors, because I'm really into anti-bullying. I'm into the campaign against violence, especially in the schools. I want our children to be safe.
I'm Indian, and I have a 5-year-old, and I'm always worried about how I can teach him about the bullying system. And when I heard about the author coming today, the Pete Popcorn, and so I decided to come take my kids here. So he loved to read the storybooks, and so he's excited to meet the author. I mean, real author who write the stories. And the good thing I learned about the way they show in a story about bullying system. So the easy way to kids can learn about the bullying system.
Oh, it's a nice message in there for the kids, and to educate them about not being not having people bully them, and to be there's diverse different people in the classes, and everybody has their own special thing that they bring to the table. Now, it's not just one particular thing and one thing out of the cookie jar and everybody's the same. Everybody's different, and everybody has different likes and different talents and different things that they can do better than others, and it's kind of nice.
I think it's important for kids to read this book because it teaches you not to be ashamed of yourself, but to be happy about what you are. And not everyone's the same. You're gonna be different, and you're gonna grow up to be different and special.
Hi, I'm Joe Kelly, and we wanted to tell everyone thank you so much for coming out. We had over 100 people, lots of kids and everything. We want to pay special thanks to the Westland Public Library and all the citizens of Westland. Westland is my hometown, and I've always felt like, you know, the community's always embraced everyone in the community. And I just want to tell everyone thank you so much for coming out to hear Pete the Popcorn. It was really, really exciting to see the kids and have the kids, you know, encourage one another.
And thank you to all of our friends for supporting the book. It's been a real fun experience going around to classrooms all around the area and talking about the message of encouraging others. If you want to learn more about Pete the Popcorn, you can visit PeteThePopcorn.com, and there's contact information on there if you'd like us to come to your school and talk to your students about encouragement. Thanks again for having us in Westland from Pete the Popcorn.